You've been lied to about motivation. That spark you're chasing, that feeling of inspiration, it isn't the solution. It's actually part of the problem. If you're stuck in a frustrating cycle of starting strong and then losing all your steam, it's not because you're lazy or lack willpower. It's because the very system you're using is broken. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the real fix, and it has nothing to do with getting motivated. So, does this sound familiar? You get a sudden jolt of energy. You're going to write a novel, start that business, or finally get in shape. The excitement is electric. You buy the domain name, you get the fancy workout gear, you create a spreadsheet so beautiful it could hang in a museum. For 3 days, maybe even a week, you are an absolute machine. And then it starts. A missed day turns into 2. That perfect spreadsheet gathers digital dust in a forgotten corner of your hard drive. The guilt creeps in, and you start thinking, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just stick with anything? You see other people out there succeeding, and that nasty comparison trap snaps shut. The project that once felt like your golden ticket now just sits there, a reminder of your own inconsistency. This is what happens when you run on motivation-based action. It's a roller coaster where the thrilling highs are always followed by nauseating drops, and every time you go through it, it gets a little harder to get back on. You start to believe you're the problem. But you're not. The problem is the fuel you're using. This is what happens when you run on motivation-based action. It's a roller coaster where the thrilling highs are always followed by nauseating drops. And every time you go through it, it gets a little harder to get back on. You start to believe you're the problem, but you're not. The problem is the fuel you're using. The real villain in this story is motivation itself. We've been taught to worship motivation, to treat it like some magical force we need to summon. But what is motivation, really? It's just an emotion, a feeling. And like all feelings, it's fickle, unreliable, and temporary. Trying to build something meaningful by chasing motivation is like trying to build a house on quicksand. Neuroscience helps explain why. Motivation is tied to complex brain circuits, and one key player is the neurotransmitter dopamine. Dopamine isn't just a pleasure chemical, it's more of a molecule of more. It's released when your brain anticipates a potential reward, driving you to go get it. But here's the catch, your brain is smart and adapts. Chronic stress, burnout, and even just repeating the same task can alter how your dopamine systems respond, making you feel less fired up to do things you were once excited about. This isn't a character flaw, it's a biological process of adaptation, and in some cases, burnout. When you rely on this fleeting chemical spike, you become a motivation addict, always needing another hit of inspiration just to function. When the feeling isn't there, you're stuck. You tell yourself, I'll do it when I feel like it. But then days turn into weeks, and that feeling never shows up. You're waiting for a lightning strike that isn't even in the forecast. The truth is, successful people don't have a secret, endless supply of motivation. They just have a better system. And that is the real fix. This is the most important thing you're going to hear. The problem isn't you, it's your system. The opposite of this motivation-fueled chaos isn't grim, white-knuckled willpower. It's a well-designed structure. It's discipline. Now hold on. When you hear discipline, you probably picture a drill sergeant or some joyless, punishing routine. But that's not what real discipline is. Real discipline is designing your life so you don't need to constantly decide to do the right thing. It's about making progress the path of least resistance. It's about creating freedom, not restriction. Instead of chasing the temporary high of inspiration, we're going to build a machine that creates momentum automatically. This machine is built on 3 pillars. If you get these, you will never have to wait for motivation again. They are identity over intention, environment over willpower, and systems over goals. The first pillar is the biggest mind shift of all. Focus on identity, not intention. We all have good intentions. We intend to lose weight. We intend to write a book, but intentions are fragile wishes, and identity is a statement of who you are. Don't just set a goal to write a book. Become a writer. What do writers do? They write. Not just when they're inspired, but because that's who they are. Don't set a goal to run a marathon. Become a runner. What do runners do? They run, even on days they don't feel like it. The action reinforces the identity, and the identity makes the action feel natural. Behavioral science shows that every time you perform an action, you cast a vote for that version of yourself. When you go to the gym, even for 15 minutes, you're casting a vote for I am a healthy person. When you write one page, you're casting a vote for I am a writer. These small wins aren't just about ticking a box. They are about literally forging a new belief about yourself. Your current behaviors are simply a reflection of your current identity. To change for good, you have to start believing new things about yourself. So ask, who is the kind of person that could achieve what I want? What do they do each day? Then start taking those actions, no matter how small. Prove it to yourself, one small win at a time, that you are that person. The second pillar is about accepting a hard truth. You are a product of your environment. We love to believe we can conquer anything with pure willpower, but research shows that willpower is a finite resource. Trying to fight distraction and temptation all day long is like trying to swim against a strong current. You might make progress for a bit, but eventually you'll get tired and be swept away. So instead of relying on willpower, become the architect of your environment. Design your world to make good habits easy and bad habits hard. Want to work out in the morning? Don't just set an alarm. Lay out your workout clothes. Put your shoes right by the door. Reduce the friction between you and the habit to nearly zero. Want to stop wasting time on your phone? Don't just promise you'll use it less. Delete the apps that suck you in. Put your phone in another room when you need to focus. Make your environment support your goals instead of attacking them. This isn't about being weak, it's about being smart. Your environment will almost always win in the long run. If you walk into a kitchen and there's a plate of fresh cookies on the counter, it takes a lot of willpower not to grab one. But if the cookies aren't in the house, it takes zero willpower. While some people's beliefs about self-control may make them more resilient, designing your surroundings is a strategy that works for everyone. Take a look at your physical and digital spaces. For every habit you want to build, ask, how can I make this obvious and easy? For every habit you want to break, ask, how can I make this invisible and difficult? Stop being a hero fighting your environment and become a designer who makes the battle unnecessary. The final pillar is the engine of your momentum machine. Focus on systems, not goals. This sounds backward, I know. We're all taught to set big, audacious goals. But goals have a dark side. First, a goal is a single point in the future, which means you're in a constant state of pre-success failure until you get there. It can be incredibly demotivating. Second, what happens after you hit the goal? Many marathon runners stop training the day after the race because the goal that was pushing them is gone. A system, on the other hand, is the process you follow every day. It's the repeatable actions that inevitably lead to progress. A goal is winning the championship. A system is what you do at practice. A goal is publishing a book. A system is your weekly writing schedule. Think about it. If you completely ignored your goals and focused only on your system, would you still get results? Absolutely. You might even get better results because you aren't obsessed with a single finish line. You're committed to the process of continuous improvement. The secret to a great system is to start ridiculously small. The biggest thing that kills momentum is feeling overwhelmed. So instead of meditate for 30 minutes, your system is meditate for 1 minute. Instead of write a chapter, your system is write one sentence. This makes it too small to fail and guarantees consistency. These tiny habits are like a snowball. Each small, consistent success builds on the last, creating a feedback loop of momentum. It's all about getting 1% better every day. Over time, that compounding effort leads to astonishing results. Don't wait for motivation. Build a system that runs whether you feel like it or not. The shift from chasing motivation to building systems is the biggest leap you can make in your personal and professional life. It's the difference between being a passenger on an emotional roller coaster and being the architect of your own progress. If you're ready to stop waiting and start building, comment "System Strong" below. Remember, you've been stuck not because you're broken, but because your strategy was. Motivation is a fair weather friend. Systems are your all-weather allies. Stop blaming yourself for a lack of willpower and start designing a system that makes success the most logical outcome. Focus on becoming the person you want to be. Design an environment that makes it easy, and build a system of tiny, consistent actions that you can't say no to. That's the real fix. That is how you create momentum that lasts a lifetime.